Here's something that will completely change how you think about money, if you let it actually sink in. The richest people in the world? 75% are entrepreneurs, 15% are investors, 7% inherited wealth, and 3% are athletes, entertainers, or artists. You know how many are just regular salaried employees? 0. So if you want to manage money like the top 1%, you need to understand what all 4 of those groups have in common. Think about it. Entrepreneurs own businesses, investors own assets, rich kids own trusts, athletes and artists own rare skills. See the pattern? If you don't own something, you are what's owned. That's the secret most people never figure out. But today, I'm going to give you a simple 4-part framework called the 25-15-50-10 rule, so that no matter what you earn right now, you can start managing money like the 1%. Here's the breakdown. 25% of your income goes toward growth, assets that work for you. 15% goes toward stability, your financial safety net. 50% goes toward essentials, the things that keep you alive and functional. And 10% goes toward rewards, because you're allowed to enjoy your life. Let's break each one down. The first 25% is your growth bucket. This money doesn't just sit there. It works for you in the background while you're at your job. And here's why starting early is everything. Let me show you 2 people. Billy starts investing $200 a month at age 20. Phil waits until 30 but invests $300 a month to try to catch up. By age 60, Billy put in $96,000 total. Phil put in $108,000. So Phil should win, right? Not even close. Assuming a 10% annual return, which is the S&P 500's historical average, Phil ends up with $678,000. But Billy? $1.26 million. Almost double. And he invested $12,000 less. That's compound growth. It rewards patience and punishes waiting. So where should you put this 25%? Here's a simple scale from lower risk to higher risk. Start with index funds. You're not picking winners, you're buying a slice of the entire market. Set it and forget it. Then consider real estate, either a rental property or REITs if you're not ready to buy a building. From there, high-income skills, copywriting, sales, coding, video editing. No one can take a skill away from you. After that, online businesses, and at the top of the risk scale, alternative investments like crypto or commodities. Only money you can afford to lose. My recommendation? Start with index funds and build a high-income skill. That's your foundation. The next 15% goes towards stability, and most people skip this entirely. I skipped it too, and it cost me. When I was 18, I took out a loan to buy a car to get to work. 3 months later, the engine blew up. No savings, no backup. I had to borrow more money just to keep my job. That car didn't just break down. It broke my entire financial plan and set me back a full year. One surprise expense and everything falls apart. That's not a money problem. That's a stability problem. Here's what to do. First, add up your core monthly expenses: rent, groceries, utilities, transportation. That's your monthly baseline. Multiply that number by 5. That's your target stability fund. If your baseline is $2,000 a month, you're aiming for $10,000 saved. 3 rules for where you store this money. 1. It must be easy to access. Available within 24 hours, no penalties for withdrawal. 2. It must be 0 risk. Do not invest your emergency fund, not even in safe options. 3. It must earn something. Put it in a high-yield savings account. Right now, banks like SoFi, Ally, and Marcus by Goldman Sachs are offering 4 to 5% interest with no lock-in. And here's a quick tip. Use a Roundup app. Every time you spend $3.60, it rounds up to $4 and drops 40 cents into savings. It sounds tiny, but it adds up fast and you won't even notice it. Now the 50%, and here's where most people fool themselves. Did you know over 60% of Americans earning 6 figures still live paycheck to paycheck? They're not broke because of their income. They're broke because of their spending. There's a name for this: lifestyle creep. I had a friend at 20 years old. Designer clothes, nice watch, always picking up the tab. From the outside, he looked like he had it all. But he had $43 in his account and missed credit card payments. Me? I looked like I shopped at a garage sale, but I had $1,000 in investments and a real savings buffer. Wealth isn't what you see, it's what you don't see. So what actually counts as an essential? Rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation, basic insurance, functional clothing. That's it. What doesn't count? Takeout. The gym you haven't been to since January. The 3 streaming subscriptions. The Amazon Prime membership you forgot about. Pull up your bank statement right now and cancel anything you're not using. I promise you'll find something. The 2 biggest levers to pull are housing and transportation. Always renegotiate your rent when your lease is up. Most landlords would rather keep you than relist the apartment. And when it comes to cars, don't lease a brand new vehicle for the monthly status symbol. Buy used and reliable. Car payments are one of the biggest wealth killers in America. And here's a system that actually works. The 7-day rule. Before any non-essential purchase, wait 7 days. Most of the time, the excitement fades and you forget about it entirely. If you still want it after 7 days, ask yourself, am I buying for the brand or the value? If it's the brand, put it down. Chase quality, not logos. And finally, the 10% that keeps you sane, your reward fund. Because here's the truth, 92% of people overspend after long saving sprints. Saving without any joy feels like punishment, and anything that feels like punishment eventually gets abandoned. So every month, I want you to automatically transfer 10% of your paycheck into a separate account. Call it your joy fund, your reward account, whatever keeps you motivated. And when it's gone, it's gone. You wait until next month. That limit makes you intentional about how you use it. What's worth spending it on? Experiences. A weekend trip. A concert with friends. A great dinner. Research consistently shows people get more lasting happiness from experiences than from things. Hobbies that keep you passionate. Nights out that keep your social life alive. I ignored this in my 20s and lost most of my close friends. And gifts for the people who matter. Not because of the price tag, but because of the thought behind it. The 10% isn't a reward for being a good saver. It's a strategy to make sure you stick with everything else long term. So let me recap the full 25-15-50-10 rule. 25%, growth assets. Index funds, real estate, skills, money that works while you sleep. 15%, stability. 5 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account, your financial shield. 50%, essentials only. Not luxury, not ego, just what you actually need. 10%, rewards. Because a financial plan you can't live with is a plan you'll quit. It doesn't matter if you're making $30,000 a year or $300,000. The percentage is what matters, not the amount. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. If this helped you, subscribe to Success Mindset. We drop new videos every week on building real wealth, mastering your psychology, and living on your own terms. And share this with one person in your life who needs to hear it. Sometimes the best investment you can make is in someone else's future. I'll see you in the next one.